Hello and welcome to It's Free IP. I'm your host Felix Chaplin, and today we'll be talking about some words whose meanings have changed over the last century. Language is a tricky thing. It's practically always changing, from new colloquialisms popping up to the changing definitions of existing words. When you live your life using a word a certain way, it can really throw you for a loop when you hear it being used in a way that doesn't quite fit what you're used to. Consuming public domain media does that a lot, so here's a list of 4 frequently used terms in old media that didn't mean what they mean today. Starting with an example most people are familiar with, gay. In modern times, gay means homosexual, usually referring to men. As most viewers are aware, the original definition of gay was happy or carefree. This word is used a lot in Tin Pan Alley songs, which isn't at all surprising when you consider that songs from this era were generally happy tunes.
A bottle of money won't make you feel gay.
Why am I excited? Why am I so gay?
The word gay even makes one appearance in the King James Bible, in the Epistle of James, chapter 2, verse 3, which I shall now quote out of context.
And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, Sit thou here in a good place.
Number 2 on this list is pretty closely associated with the previous word, queer. This word spent a long time being an anti-LGBT slur before being reclaimed by said community, but even then, the word isn't 100% accepted. The original definition of the word queer was weird or unusual.
Said she, my dear, it seems so queer.
They've got a little tree. How queer!
The original definitions of these first 2 words are still pretty widely known, but the next 2 terms, which used to be synonymous and still kind of are, aren't quite as widely known. They're in the thumbnail, so you know what's coming. Number 3 on this list is spooning. I heard this term in a lot of Tin Pan Alley songs before I knew what it originally meant, so to give you an idea of how it felt, here are some examples.
By the light of the silvery moon, I want to spoon.
How'd you like to spoon with me?
I'd like to.
How'd you like to spoon with me?
Well, whoa, spooning in a spoon. We don't need a moon.
Today, the term spooning refers to a certain sexual act, and I won't elaborate on that any further. Sorry, but this isn't that kind of channel. The original definition of this term was to be in romantic embrace. When you see a scene in a play or an old movie where a couple is sitting together, holding each other, saying things like, darling, I love you, I can't live without you, and so on, that is spooning. Now we've reached the last term on the list. Making love. In modern parlance, making love is a euphemism for having sex. When I watched old movies and shows in which this term was used, the context sometimes made sense with the modern definition.
Dictator? What does a dictator do?
A dictator? Why, he makes love to beautiful women.
But at some point, I saw this scene in The Mummy from 1932 that really threw me for a loop.
Oh, I know it seems absurd when we've known each other such a short time, but I'm serious.
Don't you think I've had enough excitement for one evening without the additional thrill of a strange man making love to me?
Whoa, that escalated quickly. It wasn't until I saw the Marx Brothers movie Horse Feathers earlier this year that I finally got the context clues I needed to find out what the term meant.
You must think I'm terrible.
But I think you're wonderful. You're beautiful.
Are you making love to me?
Why not?
So yeah, making love and spooning meant the same thing back then. Thanks to the evolution of language, this song from 1936 has aged like fine wine.
Columbus took a chance, but I would take a chance as long as there's a moon up above. But I don't want to make history, I just want to make love.
Thank you very much for watching this video. If you found it informative and interesting, be sure to give it a like. If you'd like to learn more about history in the public domain, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on what's next from It's Free IP.